Hey guys, what's up? So today we're going to be talking about two subjects. That is the High Elder Gods and Dimensional Tiering. So let's talk about the High Elder Gods first. So if you're probably wondering what the High Elder Gods is, we don't know much about them actually. Other than they're so powerful that they can, destroy the low Elder Gods just by being in their presence. Also, sorry if my hair is messed up. I just woke up early this morning, like 6 a.m. or something like that. And we don't know much about them other than that, basically. So, like, if I wanted to, I could just add some High Elder Gods in the SCP Wiki if I wanted to. Like, I'm planning to draw some High Elder God characters and adding it to the SCP Wiki. But I have to sign in with my email, so yeah, signing in is the most annoying thing that I have to face sometimes. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do, other than signing in and just adding these characters in. But other than that, I don't see a lot of people adding High Elder Gods into the SCP Wiki, so I decided to add it myself. But even then, I'm kind of skeptical, to be honest. So, anyways, let's talk about dimensional tiering. So dimensional tiering is basically analyzing a character's power in a higher dimension, a higher plane of existence, like an extra dimension, like the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension, and so on. Basically, people mistaken the fourth dimension as being time, which is not true, is because if you believe that the fourth dimension is time, it's like saying a two-dimensional being believing that the third dimension is time, which is to us not true at all, since time exists on a higher scale. Since, a lower dimensional being thinks something that is one dimension higher as time, and a lower dimensional being thinks something that is two-dimensionally higher is being able to travel to parallel universes, and a lower dimensional being thinking that being three dimensions higher than them can travel through time in each of those parallel universes or alternate timelines, like basically. So it's like like a low dimensional being, like I said, thinks being two dimensions high can travel to parallel timelines, and timelines. And a lower dimensional being thinking that being three dimensions higher than them can go through alternate timelines. And also a lower dimensional being thinking a being that is four dimensions higher than them thinks that they can go to alternate universes, every different alternate universes, not that far different from their own, basically. And a low dimensional being that thinks a being that is five dimensions higher than them can go to every possible different alternate timelines. And a lower dimensional being thinking that a being six dimensions higher than them can go to completely different universes with completely different laws of physics. And also a low dimensional being that thinks a being seven dimensions higher than them can travel to every possible universes to have ever exist, similar to how a lower dimensional being thinks about a being that is eight dimensions higher than them. And to those beings that live on those higher dimensions, that's not true at all. So yeah, that is basically the primary example of dimensional tiering. It's not to calculate what power you have over a concept, but about how much freedom you can move through. Like an infinite dimensional being can move in infinitely many directions. A primary example of this is from the abstracts in Marvel. The abstracts in Marvel lived in infinite dimensions, basically, so they have infinitely more freedom than lower dimensional beings. But the SCP universe is kind of complicated since they live on an uncountable amount of infinite dimensions. And the Chaos King lives in an uncountable amount of infinite dimensions. So it is basically like they are living in a set of infinities, sets of infinities from Aleph Null, Aleph 1, and so on. Basically, that's how it works. So basically, the Chaos King, like I'm taking Chaos King as an example, lives in a countable amount of infinite dimensions, like an Aleph Null one. But the Scarlet King lives in an uncountable amount of infinite dimensions, which would mean that he got an Aleph 1 amount of infinite dimensions, basically. So it's kind of a bit complicated when you get to the countable and uncountable part of dimensions. Is what I want to add with my God hierarchy, basically. And also, what about outer versal? Well, outer versal are basically beings that are unbound by the concept of infinite dimensions. And an omniversal being is unbound by the concept of concepts. You see, when you get to omniversal tier, things get a bit complicated. So, to make it simple, imagine the hyperverse as being an infinite dimensional plane, and the outerverse being an infinity-plex dimensional plane, and the omniverse being a trans-infinite dimensional plane. I'm not saying that this is true. It's just to keep it simple, basically. So first we got the hyperverse, which contains infinite dimensions, and the outerverse, which contains an infinity-plex amount of dimensions, also commonly known as a tier or a realm in which concepts live. But here's the confusing part. So, remember the abstracts from Marvel? Well, the abstracts from Marvel are concepts themselves, but an outerversal being should logically be like a platonic concept themselves. So it can be two things. Whether a hyperversal being are not platonic concepts, but just regular concepts, and outerversal beings are platonic concepts. Or two, is that concepts are actually hyperversal, and any outerversal being is beyond concepts. Well, I choose the first one, basically, and I know you all are, I agree that you all agree with that one. And also, dimensional tiering also explains a character's power on a scale of higher dimensions or concepts, basically. So basically, an omniverse is basically a trans-infinite dimensional structure which contains everything, basically. So it contains almost everything, from infinite outerverses, which contains infinite hyperverses, basically. That's how it works. So anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications, and peace out.